Hey guys, RPG Tweaker here, going to give you a quick video about my Pathfinder supplements that I just picked up. Supplements or accessories, whichever you want to call them. So these two decks right here, Critical Fumble and Critical Hit deck, they are 3.5 and Pathfinder compatible. Personally, I believe I've played a lot of different role-playing games. You could basically use these, or at least the theory of them, for almost any role-playing game that deals with like critical hits or critical fumbles. There's some cool things where they have additional rules, definitions, spells, additional magical weapon properties, say for against fumbles or for what happens with crits. My party has managed to pick it up quite nicely. They were quite excited for something that would, be a little spicier and not just be the generic "I dropped my sword" or what have you. So it's not always fair to assume that your characters are going to hit their ally. I used to kind of do it where, my party is, one of the members is shooting into melee with a ranged weapon. Well, -4 off the top, but in a chance of a critical fumble, you're going to try and possibly hit your ally. People are ducking, dodging, weaving. Combat is, supposed to be fast-paced, and you can't watch everywhere, so you can possibly shoot your allies, which can lead to some inter-party strife. So anyway. The decks are doing quite well. My party actually, even on a critical fumble, they were more just to see what happened. I'm like, oh, that's neat. They also have the categories that they kind of cover. This is open gaming license material, so there's no spoilers. But if you need anything or have any questions about them, please, or anything, just send me an ask on my Tumblr. Just look up RPG Tweaker on there. So there are 4 categories. There are melee, range, natural, and magic, both for critical hits and critical fumbles. So the question you might be having is, what happens if my weapon has, say, a ×3 crit, ×4 crit? Well, the quick answer to that is they have thought of that, where they say, so they have a listed amount of damage on the card. If you have a ×3, so what happens is it would go up a die step. So it would be from, if they said D6, it would be a D8. If it's a D8, D10. And they'll have usually a status element or something else that's, I've been hit with a critical ranged arrow and now I'm stuck to the wall or to the floor until I make a strength check to unpin myself. I think it's pretty fantastic flavor. Can definitely change the course of combat, which I'm always for. Another thing that I've been working on is the Emerald Spire. I've mentioned it in other videos, but if this is the first video you've seen, it's a 16-level mega dungeon produced by Paizo Publishing for the Pathfinder role-playing game system. My favorite role-playing system to date, and I've played a fair amount, so I find that I can keep coming back to Pathfinder for more. I'm not going to get into all the other ones I've played right now, but for the most part, I will tell you that the Emerald Spire is working out quite well. My party's excited. One of my players is trying to break free of a geas that was placed upon him as a punishment for him casting a spell on a shopkeep to get more money for a magical ring that they had found and were going to sell. His spell failed. He was like, "Oh, well, how did you see me?" And I explained, well, you basically have verbal components, somatic components, which is basically like gestures. So his punishment is now, in full effect. The party is kind of ostracizing him, basically teaching or treating him like the black sheep that he is, and now he's got to try and work back their trust. He is working his little ass off to try and break out of the geas before it can kind of influence or cause him some grief. The main thing I had told my party, though, since I was basically doing this all on the fly, because I didn't think my player would kind of break the law and do it so without planning or without a lot of thought to it. I don't punish my players for doing things in-game that are illegal or doing it on the line if they put the work in for it, if it suits the character, if it's, if they try, if they make it where, he just went to the back of the shop and he's like zim zim zalabim and it failed. Well, guess what? You didn't put any real thought to it, so you get what you get. So anyway, he's trying really hard to break the geas. Now, a geas is like a magical compulsion, and you have to act a certain way. In-game stat-wise, you get -3 to all of your stats, which is cumulative up until they get down to 1. They can't go below 1, but basically characters with 1 in their stats are basically catatonic / basically almost dead. There's a thing where they also tortured him the night before the trial, and there's like a little magical curse laid on him where he gets 1 hit point from his maximum total taken off due to these like bleeding, whippy like scars that have not healed. So he could possibly die if he goes long enough without fulfilling the ideas of the Gaius that were like placed upon him. Now he's trying to subvert the Gaius and trying to get around it. So more power to him. I encouraged him to, if he has a way that he thinks he can do it, then sure. What he doesn't really think about or notice yet, as far as I can tell, is that basically if you're trying to escape the punishment laid upon you, that is not in the best interests of the Helm Knights, which is what exactly I told him is the whole point of the punishment. So he'll basically find that out as soon as he tries to subvert it, and if he can't fix it, he could possibly die. So, you know, if he has to roll a new character, then c'est la vie, that's just the way it's going to be. I'm excited for my session tomorrow. We game like in the late afternoon till whatever time I can basically manage to keep everyone's attention together. Or we play Magic the Gathering, one of my other favorite games to play. Decent. Out of my group of friends, I'm fairly strong, and out of random people that I've played, I have not lost too much. Save that for another time. Just wanted to throw that out there in case there's any Magic players who are watching this. And if you ever want to try and do like some Skype Magic or something along the line, I'm a little hard to pin down. I'm a busy guy, but you know, we can always work something out. Just throwing that out there. So for my Pathfinder games, right now I've managed to get my group together, and they're focused and they're all working together, and it's great. What I'd like to do is get a collection of NPCs that the party is familiar with. So right now I've made my first female character, and also my first bard. Her name is Magda Fireveins. She's a female half-orc. I'm going to post a picture and a short backstory on my blog on Tumblr. So just look up RPG Tweaker and it should be able to be found. Not too hard there. It's the internet age, so not too hard. So anyway, what I have also is I have an NPC that was a monk. His name is Roran Fellhand. He met the party and helped them grapple and basically flurry their way through the first level of the dungeon floor. I want the party to, like, you know, meet these NPCs, and you know, they have skill sets that the party is missing. So probably after this session, even though the party is getting really, like, you know, they really like Magda, and she's getting along well with the party, and she has, you know, 20 strength. Not too many bards you see with 20 strength, but I was building it kind of my own way, using the advanced class guide, playing Scald, so it's, you know, rage powers and other cool things, mixture of bard and barbarian. So two cool, super cool features I'm looking forward to checking out and having my party deal with. The next character class I'm going to take a look at that I haven't played before are gunslingers. Now, gunslingers basically, you know, with that ranged touch of theirs, make combat a little easier. They're not exactly like, you know, super tanks to take hits all day long, but you know, their weapons definitely make up for anything that you could possibly say, because most creatures, mostly anything in the game, has a ridiculously low touch AC. Armor class 2, you guys who don't know what that is. On the closing note, I'm going to try and produce some videos with introductory to RPGs. I will start with Pathfinder. Some of this stuff is universal. It'll translate from one game to another. I have played so many role-playing games. You could basically ask me, like, unless it's some like really weird, obscure one, chances are I haven't played it, but I have, just to rhyme some off, Middle-earth, Eclipse Phase, Dark Heresy, Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40k, Star Wars Saga, Pathfinder 4th edition, 3.5, 3, 2nd edition, D&D, custom one that my friends made up called Silver State, which is like a Red Dead Redemption era-ish kind of thing, so very cool. D100, so like one percentile dice system. And of course I love games like Skyrim, Fallout 3, and basically anything Bethesda makes, I'm all over it. So yeah, that's it for tonight. It's late and I've been up very, very early. I want to say hello to Brett Mage, who asked about knowing about these decks, and I just wanted to say hi to her and say I hope you guys have a good night and take it easy. Bye.